Well, welcome to the Project Boxing Podcast, episode 5. Anthony $1 Million Crawler, Don McGuinness. We're at the Avro Football Club bar, which is next door to your gym.
Clubhouse.
We just thought we'd come in because we know that you like a pint after training, so...
Yes.
It's an easy way to facilitate that. Yeah, it's not open yet, I don't think, is it?
No, it's not.
But anyway.
But at this time, who's drinking then? I don't know.
Yeah, sad state of affairs, Anthony.
Yeah.
I think you've had enough over the weekend anyway.
I probably have enough over the weekend.
You're in Kennedy's in Altrincham.
I did. What a spot.
Yeah.
What a spot. Honestly, the live band, the live music, the band, it was class. And bumped into the twins in there. Shots like they're local, the barflies in
boys,
there. Yeah, but no, it was good. It was good.
But let's just state though, they're very professional. They don't drink, do they? They just go there for the atmosphere and all the rest of it, like yourself.
Yeah, that wasn't the case for me weekend, which I knew about Sunday morning, but I'm good. Listen, I'm here now. I'm in the gym, trained, still doing bits, so yeah. So I always say it, listen, any coaches out there, they go out drinking, as long as you don't miss sessions, it's allowed.
It's never good for you though, is it?
No, it's not. It's a bad
thing. At the weekend, a couple of days ago, obviously we saw the height of the action, Floyd Mayweather Jr. In action, so to speak.
Where was it?
It was in Mexico City. Now, again, you're trying to work out why this thing even happened, aren't you? Against John Gotti III, the grandson of the famous mobster. You said it before as well. I mean, you saw bits of it, didn't you?
I saw like little bits of it. Like I saw like Floyd reffing his own fight. Is it right? Did he change the referee?
I believe so. Yeah.
So he changed the ref during the fight because I saw a clip, and don't get me wrong, the ref probably was being a bit harsh, but
it's an exhibition.
It's an exhibition. You can't really. Mayweather does what he wants, doesn't he? But I don't. Do you know what my thing is here? That someone please tell me if it's wrong in them. Might be an hypocrite here because someone said, if you got asked to work it, you probably would. And I absolutely would, you're right. But one thing I will say is...
$1 Million Crawler.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get what the demand is to watch Floyd Mayweather, one of the greats, have an exhibition with a mobster's great-grandson or grandson. I don't get it. If someone can explain to me like what the audience is and who's like paying for it, who's tuning into it. Like, I'm not having that could have done numbers. Like, do you know, like people criticise like Misfits or, for instance, the Jake Paul Mike Tyson coming up, but there's an actual bout. There's a winner and a loser. Like, I don't. And listen, some of the Misfits is mad, but some of it's well matched, and from an entertainment point of view, it can be exciting sometimes because a lot of the times they're very crude, very raw. But at least the the training for it and stuff like that, and which obviously Mayweather stays in fantastic shape in that. But when someone explained to me, like, I don't get why you would want to watch Floyd at his age now. How old is he now? 47. Have an exhibition bout, like I say, with a mobster's grandson.
Well, it's also exactly 7 years since he retired at 50-0, and his last fight was against Conor McGregor.
Do you know that, by the way?
Which?
That was the most. There's people in places which must have earned millions, like high rollers. Like the odds on Mayweather to stop McGregor was like mental. I think there was near evens or something like that. And
there were grown men tipping McGregor, weren't there?
There was grown men with children of their own. Like, I'm in serious, those grown men who was doing that. And I'm not even saying the bad dads, but I reckon they should have been looked at. I really do, because how you could have tipped like someone making the professional debut to beat one of the all-time greats was just mental. Or like McGregor and stuff, but it was just insane. But I remember being at a Conor McGregor night. Honestly, like an audience with Conor McGregor. I met him actually, and he was dead sound. But for a split second, I had to slap myself because he had me believing, has he got a chance with Mayweather? Because it was before that.
He's a brilliant salesman, McGregor, isn't he? I mean, he's one of the best. But
it was unbelievable. But like people was asking me, and I was thinking, you're not right. But one thing I did do, I said the same about Jake Paul and KSI with Tommy Fury. In this place, right, I remember flashbacks now, when Tommy Fury was fighting KSI, I had all the young kids, like little lad Jesse and his mates, and I was saying, KSI might win tonight. I was telling them to stop being stupid, and I was going bets with him. I was going, come and see me Monday, and KSI wins, I'll give you 20 quid each. I very nearly had to give it.
I was going to say,
yeah,
it wasn't as cut and dried as you thought. Even though he was just doing star jumps all night.
Yeah, it was mental, wasn't it? But listen, I know Tom. He's an influencer himself, but still, yeah. So, but the Mayweather McGregor thing was just utter madness.
That was the last competitive fight on paper, anyway. If you like, on his box rec, if that makes sense. But do you remember who was on the undercard? Another fella had his final fight that night. His final fight. I should know this, but the Croft twins, and you won't be too far away.
Oh, jeez. Do you know what? I know it wasn't, but did Savannah Marshall make a debut?
She
that
did.
Night?
She was on that card as well.
Savannah Marshall made a debut that night.
He's a former world champion, bowed out against a very, very good campaigner who's still going.
Yeah. Jeez.
Welsh. Obviously.
Yeah, no, the Welsh. I should really, really know this.
He's big pals of your friend Tony Bellew. Not really. No.
So Nathan Cleverly. Yeah. Who did he fight that night? Badu Jack.
Yeah.
You know Cleverly was madly underrated, wasn't he?
Yeah, very, very
madly
good.
Underrated.
Very
good
good
fighter. He just.
Yeah.
Do you know that night when he fought Kovalev? And I always say this: never judge a book by its cover. And but I remember my good friend Stephen Smith knocked Gary Buckland out on the undercard. Gary was flying at the time. Yeah. I just knew Stephen was going to do it. I remember Gary was absolutely, he was I think he was mandatory, more or less mandatory for a world title, thereabouts. And Stephen, he hit him with an uppercut. It was the scariest knockout I've ever been ringside for. It was an unbelievable shot. Well, that night, I'm sure it was that night, it was the night Kovalev fought Kovalev. And you know when they walked in and they just had this presence about them. I'm not saying they weren't arrogant, but they just had this aura about them, and I thought, he's in trouble. I thought Nathan's in trouble tonight. You know, you just knew. I know that sounds uneducated from a boxing term, because you half knew how good it was and stuff like that. And he just had this sort of air of invincibility about him. And geez,
he was at the time, wasn't he?
He was unbelievable. Yeah. He was unbelievable. But no, Cleverly was madly underrated.
Yeah. And exhibition, 5th podcast, A, B, C, D, E.
E. Exhibition.
Now, Josh is in charge, so we have to say to Josh, the producer, like, what do you reckon then, E? If we're going to look at the letter E, Sesame Street style. And he said entertainers. So if you think of entertainers...
the first one that comes to your mind straight away is Prince.
Well, I thought Muhammad Ali has got to be, if you think of entertainers, and I'm thinking more, people should go back and remind themselves, like, out of the ring.
Yeah.
His chat was beyond compare,
it was, yeah, and it was like...
some of the stuff he came out with
listen, Ali, be honest, I think he sort of half got it off a bit of a wrestler, didn't he? You know, he took bits from it, but like, now everyone who's tried to do things, Ali done.
He's still unbeatable.
Yeah,
the way he carried on was just like no one else.
Oh yeah, no, without a doubt. Yeah, no one comes close sort of to Ali, but like a sort of in my lifetime.
Oh, the Prince was
Naz was unbelievable.
And again, he was funny as well, wasn't he? And
he was brilliant. Do you remember he come out on probably a bit controversial now actually, but I've started, so I'm going to finish it. What was it on that thing? He come out on a flying car being wrapped to the ring off P Diddy or something like that. Was it the same one? Thought it was the same night.
Came out on the flame. Was that?
Then there's the graveyard with McCulloch. Do you remember that? At the time, that got a little bit of stick. I remember it. Oh, there was another one where he had like a stunt double. I was at that one against Paul Ingle from Scarborough. That Naz's entrances from listening.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Like, I'm trying to think what his best one was. That was that Manchester, I think. He come out on a car.
Just a hot stepper when he just danced into the ring was enough.
Yeah.
I mean,
There was so many, weren't there?
I think he must be when you talk to fighters, today's fighters, he's the inspiration for so many. I mean, he must be
certainly around that area. Do you know what happened? Like, I think obviously around Manchester and that, you had Ricker and everyone want the long shorts, you know, the body punching and stuff like that. They inspire a generation, don't they? But Naz done that thing for like, obviously the Ingle Gym at the Winker Bank. It's just unbelievable what they've done for some years. But he inspired like a generation, you know, of fighters but like,
and you probably can't even estimate the amount of Asian fighters he inspired.
Oh, massive!
I mean, because he was across the board, wasn't he? Of course, it was incredible.
Don't know, the only thing with Naz, what was dangerous was where his hands was. There was a lot of people who tried to emulate him, and they become badly unstuck.
His reflexes were just something else, weren't they? I mean, he was
that, and I would have loved to have. I don't mean felt the power on the chin. Maybe now pretend to be a coach on the pad, but he was meant to be. His power was phenomenal.
Yeah,
he had a set of legs on him.
Yeah, I was going to say you can see where it came from with him. He was something else. So entertainer. So you're saying now? I mean, if you look now, if you asked anyone now who's the entertainer, they might say Ben Whittaker.
Yeah, controversial one, but no, he is an entertainer. No,
I mean, he's still emerging, obviously.
I think, but it was Ben. I was super talented. And you know what I always think about Ben Whittaker as well? You know, when you speak to him off camera, soundless lad, nice guy, but obviously cameras goes on light, showbiz, he plays the bad guy a little bit, you know, the entertainer. Teofimo Lopez, he's an entertainer for sure.
Well, there's plenty of them, isn't there? That's for different reasons, but I still think, again, your old pal, Loma.
Yeah, in
what he does in the ring.
What he does in the ring wasn't a showman before it, was it?
It's just...
No.
If you're not entertained by that, there's something wrong with
something serious wrong.
You could say Ward Gatti, it's what you like. Carl Froch was entertaining, Nigel Benn was entertaining.
Yeah, it was just like entertainment, like it was in a different terms
excitement.
Of like, you get, not in bad fights, absolutely, but certainly in mine, I think, it's hard to just look past. That's Eubank?
Yeah,
Eubank Senior?
Yeah.
He was absolutely a showman.
Yeah. His son's taking that on to a certain degree.
Yeah, he has a little bit. Junior, no, he has a little bit. I think with Senior though as well, it was just the whole, the presence, the walk out and the mind games he'd play and stuff like that.
Then he had that turned on him, didn't he, with Steve Collins?
Yeah, of course. That was unbelievable, wasn't it? And I think, it just baffled him, didn't it? But do you know what? I'm going to watch back that fight.
Yeah. Well, he was all about grit, wasn't he, Steve Collins? He was
just a very hard man. Listen, you know what that sounds like, underestimating him, but he was an unbelievably hard man, but he was one of Ireland's greatest fighters,
he'd gone away to the east coast of the USA.
He'd
gone to Boston, he'd learnt the hard way.
Yeah, he did.
Taken his licks, come back, and then made his name on these shores.
We still see Packy Collins, and I've a good guy, he does so much for the fighters over there.
And his other brother's a football manager, isn't he? It's a very sporty family, Roddy Doyle.
Collins.
He's the author, Roddy Collins. Yeah. But anyway. Other big news, Anthony.
Go.
Well, Eubank, since last week, actually, that card in Saudi was announced, wasn't it? Which the Beterbiev Bivol card, which has got a fairly incredible undercard as well.
No, it has.
With Chris being on there, but it was a bit of a surprise. Everyone was talking about where's he going to go and who's he going to fight and was it going to be a domestic one. But he's gone another way. Yeah,
to be fair, I'm digging him out, but he's got a bit of stick for it. But he has been out the ring for quite a bit. He's probably the least fight, you look at where you're like, wow, it's where you had to box wreck the guy. And that's I'm not meaning to be disrespectful whatsoever. Where you had to box wreck the guy, whereas obviously, your Cardina, Shakur Stevenson, unbelievable fight. And listen, you've got to make Shakur a favourite, but I think Joe's going to be much better at lightweight. I think Joe's brilliant. I think he'll be much better at the higher weight. But tough one. It's going through obviously the main event. I'm sure we'll speak about that in detail. But going through it, listen, Liam Cameron, Joe, you mentioned before Ben Whittaker. Liam getting his chance, fair play. If that's not inspiring,
no, his story's insane. For people that don't know, obviously he was banned.
He got a 4-year ban
substance. He swears. Obviously he thinks it had been on notes or something. But a metabolic. What was it? What did he call it?
It was
not metabolic.
No, it wasn't. It was.
Anyway,
was it a mix of
it wasn't a performance enhancer.
It wasn't performance enhancing, and the amount that got found was the tiniest whatever. But the ban, when you look at some of the other bans, it was absolutely scandalous. Let's not pretend that the ban. It was treated disgusting. He's had a tough time. He, with his family, he lost the daughter and stuff. God bless him, and he stuck with it. He's very inspiring. He's lost a ridiculous amount of weight. He gave a great account of himself against the fight against Lyndon Arthur. Just come up short, and then obviously the what's it called? He's now got the Saudi the Saudi gym.
Well,
who else is on that now?
He's worked hard on that Steel City gym, hasn't he?
No, he has. He has with Pace and Grant and stuff. Yeah. Who else is on that now? My mind's just gone blank.
For God's sake, Anthony.
And now I'll put you on the spot here, man.
You're the pro.
No, I know. It's all going to come to me when. It's a good card though. I know. Jack Massey, Jaya Pattaya.
One smack Jack.
Jesus. Because then there's a Saudi lad from Champs Camp. Joe's, who's making his professional debut. But
we should have written this down before we started. Really, shouldn't we?
Yeah, we should. Better edit this.
I've got them.
You just can edit this a sec, can't you? Army, what's happening? You okay?
Hello, mate.
What are you up to?
Trying to buy water. She won't come behind because she's already.
Oh, don't be daft. Why don't you just come in on? Hey, he's dead, Kaz. Just jump in.
Kaz, don't worry about any of that.
Don't worry about that. I was going to... Saying, Ahmed, good weekend other than the result?
Yeah, struggling.
Yeah. No, I've seen it.
Balls were well this time.
Yeah. Oh my God, hey, top of the feed.
Yeah.
Oh, he's on today?
Yeah, playing.
Where?
No? Yeah.
No way.
Clock? Yeah.
All right, I do. Yes, Chelsea, okay. Oh, of course, bank holiday.
Yeah.
Need a win.
Good.
Need a win or we're going down.
I think Will just done that walk. You and I've not said Army done a walk yesterday, today.
It took an hour each one.
Well, he texted me this morning. He was on the walk or something.
Me saying,
well, that's what I don't know what walk he's on about, but yeah.
Well, I said wear walking boots so you'll go over on your ankle.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
Go on, right, Army. I'll see you in a bit. I didn't know he was on.
Do it, Dom. Just go.
Didn't forgot his bank holiday.
Yeah. I mean, come on, Ant.
What?
You've not just got Ben Whittaker in Cameron.
You got one smack.
You got one smack.
I think he's a belting nickname. I like Jack.
He's up against
He's got a tough in
it.
Yeah, he has.
Jaya Pataya, who is something else.
He has. He's. No, I think. Listen, there's no denying. It's a big ask. I think, in most people's opinion, Jaya Pataya is seen as the number one cruiser. I believe so. So he's gone for a very top dog in the division, but Jack's got a great sort of mindset and attitude he'll have towards it. Like when he stepped in short notice to fight Joseph Parker.
Yeah.
But it's no, listen, it's a tough one. But I'm glad he's a good guy. He's just been married as well, Jack. So congrats to him and his missus.
Top fella, yeah.
No, a good couple.
Trained by your old pal, Joe G.
Yeah, Joe G, man. And he's. I just saw. Do you know what? Shout out to Joe. I think I just saw something on weekend. I think. He's doing a bit with the amateurs, isn't he, over in Saudi at the Mike Tyson boxing club. I think they won the team trophy or something there with the gyms and stuff. So yeah. Who else was you saying on that card?
There's a couple that you mentioned. Eubank, who's fighting Zemaretta.
Eubank, yeah. Sky Nicholson, Raven Chapman. That's a good fight. That's a really good fight.
Yeah.
I think, you know what I think.
There's another one you're forgetting about as well.
No, I know.
Big boys.
Not
so
Willie
a
and
rematch.
what a fight! I was working with Fabio. The week him and Frazier are two good guys. That was an unbelievable fight.
It was.
Contender for fight of the year. Who else? There's probably someone else that missed off it. Maybe that it.
I think you've gone through it now.
But no, anyway, it's a very, very good card.
Ben, you mentioned Ben, Mohamed Alakal that you were talking about. Jesus Gonzalez.
Yeah, that's obviously.
And then you mentioned Shakur and Joe, and then the main event.
Nice.
Beterbiev. Very, very quickly, we're not getting into it now. We will do later on, another time. Beterbiev, Bivol.
Yeah,
your reaction now to when we talk properly about it in there.
What your big thing for me is obviously Beterbiev against Callum was gutted. It just my worry. I lean towards Beterbiev because I don't know if I think Bivol's fantastic. His feet, I think he's technically very correct, and you think, age, is it catching up with Beterbiev? But against Callum, he looked as good as ever. Yeah. And I just don't know if Bivol will hit hard enough to get his respect to stop him coming.
I just got a feeling that he'll do what he did to Canelo, even though he's the bigger man.
Could do, and I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever.
But again, he's got all the power in the world, Beterbiev, hasn't he?
Yeah, scary.
It's you never know. But another thing I know that's been absolutely non-stop chat for you, all the fighters, everyone's been talking about it, is Oasis.
Yeah, no. Do you know what I'm going to do? Really, really childish. Do they go on tickets? Do they go on sale tomorrow morning?
No, you're dating it now.
No, sorry about that. They go on sale. What I'm going to do though, I'm going to do the very childish thing on social media of, I'm going to go, you know what, William, because William does me head in pretty regular.
You're William Crom.
I might put a post out, shout out to our Will for sorting a Oasis ticket at a very reasonable price. You know, DM him for information, and it's just going to blow up.
30 years since they released their debut album, definitely.
That's
maybe.
Mad, isn't it? I was young and I was in primary school. Yeah, of course I was in primary school. I'm only 37. I was in primary school. And you know what, obviously I was a bit too young to appreciate that, because I remember there was Oasis and Blur was a similar time, weren't there?
Yeah.
You know what, so I didn't appreciate Oasis till I was older. Yeah.
So, well, you might get your chance now, if you really want, but it's got everyone a bit giddy, that, hasn't it?
No, that's all I was certainly trying to get tickets.
But if you think about that, August 1994, so you were a kid, but if you think about 90s then, 90s fighters, who'd you love to know if you...
I thought you was going to say like bands. I was going to say controversial one, but the Spice Girls was the 90s as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, of course you were, yeah.
Been to see the Spice Girls. Very, very good.
I'd be amazed if you hadn't.
No, yeah, been to see the Spice Girls, then reunion.
So, August 1994, so you're thinking like...
Yeah, so...
You know, we've talked about the entertainers, but 90s fighters, I mean, if you thought now...
So, you go back to Ben Eubank Collins, weren't there? Ben Eubank Collins, they're the ones that come straight off. Again, because you might remember Collins, he come to Manchester, didn't he? Beat Nigel Benn.
Yeah.
Obviously Cork, where was both the Eubank fights?
Well, the first one was Mill Street in Cork.
Yeah.
The second one was in Manchester, wasn't it?
Was that at the arena? There was a 9x10. I know he beat Nigel Benn at... Well, that was some unbelievable, and you always say it. Do you know, you just would have loved to see that mix. God bless Michael Watson.
Yeah.
Michael Watson, I know obviously he boxed two of them. But yeah, no, that's what I think about, growing up, they're the ones who remember.
So when you think of 30 years of Oasis and that debut album, definitely maybe. I mean, I personally think there's been a lot better bands, but the two lads themselves, though.
Brilliant, it's a great story,
and the fact that they were all
Burnish lads.
Same estate.
Yeah.
All Irish lads.
Yep.
And they came through and did what they did. I was more interested actually the lads and the way they carried on than the music in many ways. I think they're brilliant characters and they still are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so.
They're fabulous, but no, they put out some very good tunes. But if you think of like your 90s music, I know you're a big Spice Girls fan, and
I was. So I went to watch the reunion. There was class. What bands?
Yeah, so from the 90s.
There's Eternal. Eternal was the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eternal was class. Eternal had some belters.
Yeah.
And probably, like you say, Oasis, Blur. There's loads, weren't there? But it very much belongs to Oasis.
Yeah, but you're definitely Oasis over Blur.
Yeah, Blur was alright, wasn't it? But Blur was decent. But no, of course, being a Manc. Yeah. Absolutely Oasis, yeah.
90s fighters then. So when you're thinking of that,
do you know one of the first one I think of is we mentioned earlier Chris Eubank, Eubank, Ben Collins. Yeah. Then unfortunately Michael Watson. You would have loved to have seen him around that year. Watson was absolutely brilliant. So that tragic night.
Mike Tyson, obviously.
Yeah. Mike Tyson.
The comeback, because obviously he ripped through the division in the late 80s.
I remember him coming back. I remember his first one was Peter McNeely or something when he'd spent years away. Lennox was unbelievable, but yeah. Do you remember?
Before, you mentioned the Prince as well, obviously.
Yeah, Nas. I was lucky enough to go and watch him live a few times. Ben and McLennan, that was a fight that sticks out to me. I know it's remembered for the tragic, the tragic ending and what, since, but that fight, it was just brutal, and I always remember watching him in Nana and Grandad's the next day and everyone just talking about it. I was only young and stuff like that, but what he come through that night was just insane.
That was a crazy fight.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely crazy. But there you go. Crawler's Clips. We like to have a look at your social media presence every week, so to speak.
Who's your favourite this week?
Yeah. Apart from Ian Ritchie.
Ian. Shout out to Ian. Ian in a beefer on
Jamie Collins
Stag Day. He's that was brilliant. Yeah, Ian was my favourite person on social media. But there's a girl, there's an Irish girl, right, and she's like a fitness influencer. She's called Lauren Scully. And I'm not gonna lie, right, I don't know some of the advice she gives out. I wouldn't recommend it. But do you know what? She's trying, she's getting out there. Listen, obviously she's doing well. But she just kills me how she explains the video. Like, I can't do the accent, but just guys, are you really cutting out McDonald's? That was fucking, start again, that was terrible. That was shocking.
That's definitely staying in.
Yeah, she was just guys, and she'll just give out this mad advice. But you know what though, she get like, and not you get a bit of hate in the comments, but she is like I watch her videos just hilariously, like just laughing and stuff, just how enthusiastic she is. But you know what? She's listen, I probably agree in a different way of losing weight than Monsters, cans of Monster and stuff like that. I'm healthy at McDonald's. But I think she's brilliant. She is one of my favourite people on social media right now.
Very good.
Yeah.
So what's the week got in store for you, Anthony?
You know what? I'll just this week.
The weekend? Oh, it's United Liverpool at the weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't even enjoy it, you know, because of the Smiths and stuff like that, and like the fear of losing and stuff like that. I don't even look forward.
But you know
to
what
it.
is it? I have to check this out. I saw a stat. In 30 years, from 92 to 2022, United let in 2 90th minute goals. They've let in 6 under 10 Hag.
You're calling it 10 out of 10, aren't you?
No, God, no.
It sounds like it.
No.
You sound like my brother.
Not at all. Well, your will's just vicious anyway.
It's
It's just they're so soft now, aren't they?
Do you know what it is? We was always the one scoring like your Fergie time goals. Like you knew exactly what was going to happen. Do you know what? I was in here watching it on Saturday. Didn't make the trip to Brighton because I come from Glasgow with Willie Lemon's sons, Jake and Drew.
So Drew made his debut, didn't he, last week?
Yeah, it was a very good debut as well against good opponent Joe Harder. And then the other son, Jake, he damaged his hand, but a good learning fight. Still, you know, he's definitely improving a lot. So watch them. It was a good bill actually. It was a good bill. Young Martin Crossman was back to winning ways, and he got up off the floor. But again, another very good learning fight. Well matched card. I think it was our mate Steve Lillis who would have matched it.
Yeah, very busy Steve now, isn't he?
Steve's good guy, man. What a boxing's good guy.
So you'll be at Old Trafford, obviously, United, Liverpool.
I will be.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
But you know, it's a funny week, and a mate of mine went for a job interview, his dream job this week.
Yeah.
He went for the first interview, absolutely smashed it.
Yeah.
They invited him back. They said, "Listen, tick every box in terms of being capable for the job. We just want to make sure that your personality's in line with us, but you're absolute front runner for this."
Yeah.
So just to kind of get to know we know all about your strengths. Just how would you kind of explain your weaknesses, if you like? I mean, what would you say about kind of your weakness of personality?
Yeah.
And he sat there and he thought about it, and he just went, well, to be honest, I think probably my weakness is my honesty.
Yeah.
It's probably my biggest weakness.
It's never a weakness, is it?
No, the fella said, hey, listen, never a bad thing to be honest. So well, I don't give a fuck what you think. There you go. So there.
All right, yeah.
That's it, Anthony. Anything else for us?
No. Just getting over finding out my dad's got dementia. I want to do it. That's I'm not going to do it. Don't.
On that note. Well, it's been lovely, so we'll have a pint now in Abros.
Yeah.
So, and good luck to Abro FC
Well,
as well.
Back to get back to winning ways. So yeah, want to watch the boys.
See you again soon.
Bash.